back to my channel. Have you ever asked yourself why it's so difficult to get your team on board with following a plan that you've established? Have you ever been frustrated because you're managing people who don't seem to really get it in terms of taking the desired action to achieve goals and objectives? Well, if you've experienced this, it's possible that one of the reasons that this might be happening could be due to the fact that your direct reports don't see the big picture. And because they don't have the full picture of what your vision is, they may not understand where it's all leading to. They may want to know what the end game is. And because it's human nature to be curious about what we're working towards, team members need to be included in the leader's vision for moving forward. That's why in today's video, I'll discuss why as a leader you should share your leadership vision with your direct reports. Today's episode is all about how to communicate your vision to effectively lead teams with 3 tips for how new leaders develop and share their vision. I'll also explain how you can share your vision in a way that is sure to get your team to follow. So if you want to know more about why it's important for you to have a leadership vision and how to bring others on board by effectively communicating your vision to your team, give this video a thumbs up and stay tuned. It's important for leaders to have a vision because we want to be clear about what needs to be accomplished. Leaders also set the direction for the team or the department that aligns with the company's mission, vision, and values. Your specific leadership vision for your team outlines what needs to be accomplished at the micro level so that it feeds into accomplishing the overarching company vision at the macro level. Modern-day effective leaders, as well as leaders throughout history, operate according to a vision. Let's look at a few examples. When we look at the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., we know that he had a clear leadership vision for race relations in America. At the macro level, Dr. King shared his vision with all who would listen through publications, speeches, and his efforts towards legislative reform, just to name a few of his accomplishments. Those actions were all direct results of his vision. At the micro level, he worked within his sphere of influence by engaging and mobilizing activities and the Black community through protests, marches, and other civil rights demonstrations. Because he shared his vision and it was clear, the world knows of his legacy and what he stood for. This is why having a vision is important. It speaks to your leadership legacy. Let's take another example. Walt Disney's vision was to be one of the world's leading producers and providers of entertainment and information. And true to form, that vision has crossed over many industries. We now experience Walt Disney's vision via theme parks, the media, the cruise industry, and the list goes on and on. That vision made such a dynamic impact on the world that the name Disney is not only a brand, but it also generates emotions of fun and happiness for many people around the world. Setting a clear vision is important as it sets the destination for others to follow, and it's a way to establish your leadership legacy. Let's look at a third example. Mother Teresa is another prime example of why having a vision for others to follow is important. She had a clear vision to help the poor and the underserved. At the micro level, she established a leper colony and a few open-air schools for the poor, and she founded a home for the dying and for the destitute. At the macro level, she solicited donations from India and around the world to aid her charitable endeavors. She left such an indelible mark on the world. When we describe someone as being no Mother Teresa, we all know exactly what that means. Before we move on, name a leader in history who you think had a clear vision that made a mark on the world, and let me know who that leader is in the comments section. So now let's talk about why you should share your vision. In his book, Start With Why, Simon Sinek discusses the fact that effective leaders truly have the ability to lead because they inspire others so that they feel fulfilled by the work that they do. He goes on to explain that leadership is the ability to inspire others in a way that motivates them to action beyond the present moment and leads to loyalty in years to come. While much of his message in the book focuses on the leader's role within the company to inspire loyal customers as the target, I think that this philosophy could also apply to the relationship between leaders and their direct reports. This is especially so in terms of mobilizing teams through inspiration for a shared vision. I think that inspiring others begins with sharing a clear vision that your direct reports can follow and buy into. The vision allows you to share the direction that you're headed toward and the reason or the why behind your vision. Your why is the cause, the purpose, or the belief behind the vision. Simon Sinek shares his thoughts about the why of a thing in this book when he explains that the theory of the golden circle. Sinek explains that the golden circle represents the importance of the how, what, and why of motivating followers and inspiring loyalty. He goes on to explain that when people understand why they're following a particular plan, leaders have the ability to motivate followers and inspire them to action. When people understand why you're heading in a certain direction, more often than not, they'll follow you and want to buy into your vision. It's important for direct reports to be inspired to follow you and the direction that you're heading them in. And it makes practical sense to share your vision with those who have to implement it. And if the vision remains uncommunicated in your head, people won't know what to follow or how to follow you. So let's recap why it's important to communicate your vision. So the first tip is, number one, you want to share a plan for where you're headed that staff can follow. Number two, you want your team to know the vision so that they can carry it out. And number three, people need to know the why of the vision to be inspired to follow it and to follow you. So there you have it, everyone. 3 tips for how new leaders develop and share their vision with key tips for how to communicate your vision to effectively lead your team. I hope that this video gave you information that will aid you in sharing your vision with your direct reports so that it will get buy-in and lead you to accomplishing your objectives. Please give me a thumbs up and let me know if there's a leadership topic that you would like for me to discuss on this channel. And if you're sure to let me know in the comments below, I will make a future video about it. If you like this video, be sure to save it, subscribe, and click the notification bell because in my next video, I talk about why I believe being a leader is one of the best jobs in the world. As always, have a great week, be kind to yourself, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.